The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow. You come over and start up a conversation with just me. And trust me, I'll give it a chance now. Take my hand, stop, put Van the Man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance, and now I'm singing like, "Girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boys, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room, and now my bed sheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with your body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with your body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with your body. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new, I'm in love with the shape of you. Come on, be my baby, come on. 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 Come on, be my baby, come on.
I had a girlfriend during my freshman year at Concordia. We were really attracted to each other. We were excited to be together. We spent our time hanging out, going to classes, having dinner, seeing things in the area. And because she lived here in the area, we found ourselves at her house as she needed to run an errand. Her parents were not home. And so she got what she needed for the errand, but we began making out there in her house. And as we did, her father arrived home. And all I knew about her family was that they had been missionaries in Venezuela and they were bilingual. And so I looked up at her father with his daughter in my arms and said, "Hola." And even though we successfully navigated that awkward experience, she ended up breaking up with me. And I found myself devastated by that breakup, really having to work through the feelings of that, when one of my friends asked, "Did you love her?" And that really got me thinking. Not only about whether or not I loved her, but whether or not I even understood that. And maybe that's the question we would ask about the song. As Ed Sheeran sings about a new relationship, about this guy and girl who get together, they meet at a bar, they talk, they're excited to be with each other, they go out on a date, have some conversation, and then they find themselves making out in the back of a cab. They spend the night together. Her scent lingers on his sheets. He declares that he is in love with her body. But does he really love her? The music we listen to tends to describe love as attraction. There's just a certain passion and desire we have for someone or something. The culture in which we find ourselves tends to describe love as affirmation, accepting someone wherever they are, whatever it is that they may be doing, acknowledging that if it works for them, that's all right. But God tends to describe love differently. It's even part of our theme this year, this emphasis we have had on abide. Because part of that declaration of John 15 is Jesus saying, as the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. And abide seems to be a word that means remain, hang out. But the Greek reveals it means more than that. It doesn't just mean remain, it means persist. It's not just hang out, it's hang on. As you are pulled by other descriptions of love, that it's pure attraction and desire, that it's totally affirmation and acceptance, Jesus declares, abide in my love. He hangs on to us with this different definition of what love is. And if you still ask about it there in John 15, perhaps he answers in 1 John 4. It's another book that we're studying this semester in chapel. And in 1 John 4, the declaration is, this is how God shows his love among us, that he sends his only Son that we might live through him. Love for God is not about attraction, because the reality is we're not always very attractive. We sin, we mess up, we think we know better, we're stubborn, we do it our own way. And it's definitely not about affirmation, just agreeing or accepting with whatever it is that we want or whatever direction we may desire to go. Love for God is entirely about action. The definition that I find myself discovering and preaching and teaching is this definition: love is the active pursuit of what is best for another. Ponder that. Love is the active pursuit of what is best for another. That is the description about which we read, not just in John 15, but 1 John 4. An active pursuit that would lead Jesus all the way to the cross, even if it meant paying for our sin, suffering on our behalf. It is the active pursuit of what is best for another. And it didn't just take him to the cross, but it took him out of the tomb. Because the pursuit of what is best for us has him still with us, assuring us that we are forgiven and that we will rise and be with him forever. It's a different concept. And maybe we have difficulty with the expression of the song. I mean, there's some awkwardness in that reading. Hearing your professor utter those words. Maybe it was because it's coming from him. Maybe it's because it's something so intimate. Maybe it's because it's one of those things that we really don't engage when we gather here in chapel. It's one of those discussions when it comes to intimacy and affection and togetherness that we tend not to have. Because it's awkward. Because maybe we disagree with the things that God has to teach about it. But there's a reason that he teaches what he does. When God teaches about intimacy like that in the context of marriage, he does so not to mess with relationships, not to ruin our dating experiences. He does so because he is entirely faithful. It is the nature of God to be faithful, to remain with us. That is evidenced by the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. He does not find somebody to whom he is more attracted and move on from us. He doesn't just accept whatever and do his own thing. He is entirely faithful. He is always active, hanging on to us. And he desires us to be that way in our relationships with each other, especially when it comes to that relationship of marriage and intimacy. It's that faithfulness that reveals more and more about love. And if you want to ask anybody about that, ask Ed Sheeran. Because Ed Sheeran wrote this song with a woman in mind. He originally wasn't going to sing it, but as the lyrics began to unfold, he thought about this woman who had been a part of his life for years, a woman he had known since childhood, a woman who is now his wife. He thought about his desire for her and passion for her, the development of their own relationship. But since that song was written, they got married. They have 2 children. Ed and his wife, Cherry, have told the story about their second pregnancy and the diagnosis of cancer she received during that. They were overwhelmed by that experience because no treatment could be done while she was pregnant. It would otherwise harm the baby. And so they had to navigate that reality for their child, for themselves. And in discussing that, they revealed that they came to a much different sense about what love is. One of those people who writes about love and sings about love and really ends up teaching about love acknowledged that love was something deeper than he ever recognized. My freshman girlfriend is someone I see every so often. That is the reality of being part of the Concordia family. Every so often, you're going to still run into some of these people throughout your life. And she is among those people. She is married, she has 2 children. And the reality is, if there was anything that I could do to serve her and her husband, I would want to do that. If there's anything I could do to be helpful to them in their marriage or with their family or as it relates to their faith, I would want to do that. And that question that I was asked more than 30 years ago, do you love her? I don't know that I did then, but I do now. Because I understand the meaning of that. The active pursuit of what is best for someone. That is the love of Jesus. And that's a love worth singing about. In his name and for his name's sake.